Hold on. Okay, I'll keep myself down here. Hold on. Okay, but first, could the U.S. have won independence without the 2009 Dodge Challenger? Me personally, I don't think that they could. But it's also because the British didn't have their BMWs yet. That's my personal opinion. We'll see.
As George Washington sat revving his V6 250 horsepower engine after literally driving circles around.
Damn, 250 horsepowers out of that V8 back then? I can't believe it. Hold on. How much horsepower does an RT nowadays make? Damn. They were sufficiently underpowered back in the, what, 1800s? That's crazy. Now the RTs are making some pretty good horsepower. I guess that's just what it was like back in uh the Revolutionary War.
Around the British Army at Yorktown, he would spit out a sentence to Lord Cornwallis that would thrive through the remainder of America's existence. Stay strapped or get clapped. Hi, I'm Doc Udubbery, the
And they were all loaded with Glocks. That's crazy. The Glocks won us the Revolutionary War.
passenger side chair historian, and today we are going to be looking into the American fight for independence, and that fight's dependence on the most important car in Western history. And no, I don't mean this kind of car history, although we do cover that kind of car history on this channel as well. George Washington is perhaps best known for having fake teeth.
Not fake, they're real. They're slave teeth.
And a questionable moral character. But did you know he also helped found the United States and even served as its first president? Named after the city of Washington, D.C.
You know what? I thought that it was Martin Luther King who was the first president. I guess not. I guess it's George Bush. I thought he was the one that won the Civil War.
George Washington was not only a 6-foot
Maybe that was Martin Luther King.
dude making six figures, but he was also one of the few people in America who saved for retirement and owned an automobile. George Washington was the proud owner of a 2009 Dodge Challenger.
Was it the SRT model or was it the base model Challenger? Because this very real image right here shows the SRT. The SRT, let's see, how much horsepower did the SRT Challenger make back then? Uh, okay, he said 200, but this very real image right here, that's very clearly an SRT model. So was he lying about the horsepower number?
With off-roading capabilities and a 3.5-liter engine. Naturally, being a significant historical artifact, this muscle car has
This right here is the 2018 Demon.
made several appearances on Pawn Stars.
These are the rims that I currently have on. Well, they're not wide body, they're skinny body rims. But these are the same rims that I got on my Challenger, my Hellcat.
When George Washington wasn't busy starting multinational global conflicts that would last for a minimum of 7 years, he would do some car-related heists, spend time with his family, and wait for the day his country needed him.
See, people don't know this about history, but the Fast and Furious movies were based off of George Washington's real experience during the Revolutionary War.
That day would come in the mid-1770s when the Continental Breakfast Club called up George Washington to defend the United States from paying its fair share in taxes. George took up the call to arms, driving his Dodge Challenger to New England, where he would take command of the US Army and fight the British IRS. By all accounts, George Washington was an unconventional military leader, to say the least. While his British adversaries preferred volley fire and marching in lines, Washington preferred to use his Dodge Challenger to either screen for a withdrawal or an attack. When it came to breaking the British naval blockade at Boston, George was able to halt cannons from Fort Ticonderoga to Massachusetts in record time, using nothing but his Dodge Challenger. With his Challenger, he could quickly move troops.
That's not a Challenger, that's a Chrysler 300. This is a fake image.
Messages, conduct flanking maneuvers, and even do a couple Grubhub runs to help finance the war effort. Every time it appeared the Continental Army would be destroyed by the better equipped and trained British Army, Washington would use his Dodge Challenger to conduct an orderly Uber retreat, keeping his army from being destroyed. Eventually, this tactic would wear down the British so much that they finally relented and granted America independence, a decision that would eventually cost them trillions of dollars. And that, my friends, is exactly how America...
Damn, they took the top off the Challenger? I guess they just didn't have taste back then.
...came to be. Now, for those of you looking to judge George Washington for driving a gas-powered car, keep in mind he was a product of his era, and electric cars had yet to be invented. A shout out to my patrons.
Very cool. Very interesting. The more you know. I thought it would be fun just to look at a little bit of history. Because we all need to know a little bit more about history, especially nowadays.